Okay, today we're going to talk about relative frequency conditional distribution. Now remember, this top table up here is called relative frequency distribution. And then last time we looked at the relative frequency marginal distribution, which is you take each one of these and you divide by the total, and it ends up looking like something like this. Okay, and we're going to take that one step further. So in this case, we're going to change it to a percent, but the other thing we're going to do is we're only going to look at conditional. And the way it's conditional is instead of being a two-way table, which is up here, it's going to be a one-way table. So we're actually going to erase this bottom section over here, and we're just going to get rid of it entirely. This is how it becomes a conditional distribution, because now we're only going to look at the totals on one thing. So we're going to look at just the males, and then we're going to look at just the females, and we're no longer looking at the grand total because there is no more grand total. Okay? So if we look at the total of females or males, there are 5. So the first number is going to be 1 over 5, and the next one's going to be 1 over 5, 2 over 5, 1 over 5, and then 0 over 5. And it's 5 because this total is 5. And for a total of 5 over 5. Okay? And then we're going to do the same thing for females. Total number of females happens to also be 5. Could be a different number. So we're going to do the same thing for the females. So we got 2 over 5, 1 over 5, 0 over 5, 1 over 5, and 1 over 5. And that should also be a total of 5 over 5. And these should add up. 1/5, 1/5, 2/5, and 1/5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/5. That's good. And 2, 3, 4, 5/5 again. And we're going to change this into a percent. Well, 5/5 is the same as the number 1, which is 100%. And it's going to be 100% down here as well. These are always 100% because it's going to be our total. Now, if we take 1 over 5 and we change that into a percent, we need to divide. And when you do 1 divided by 5, you're going to get the number 0.2. Now, in order to change a decimal into a percent, first off, we're going to move the decimal place to the right 2 spots. Now, in our particular case here, we don't have 2 spots, so we're going to add a 0 to it so that I have 2 spots. And then when I move it to the right 2 spots, I get the number 20. And that is your percent. So when you take a decimal and you change it into a percent, you just take the decimal point and you move it to the right 2 spots. This is 20%. I'm going to do it again here. This happens to be the same number. Now 2/5 is going to be the decimal 0.4 or 0.40, so this becomes 40%. And this is another 20%. And 0 over 5 is just 0%. And if I add it up, 20, 20, 40, and 20, that's 100%. And we do the same thing down here. So this is still 40%. This is going to be 20%, 0%, 20%, and 20%. And we go 20, 40, 60, and 40. That's another 100%. So they should add up here. But notice we only went straight across. This time we looked at just the males and females. We could equally do it up and down. So let's take a look at what that would look like. So in this case, we're going to get rid of the totals on the right, and we're only going to look at up and down. Okay, so this time I wanted totals for A, B, C, D, and F's. Okay, well the total for A is 3, so males are going to be 1 out of 3. Females are going to be 2 out of 3, for a total of 3 out of 3. And then here for B's, there's only a total of 2, so this is going to be 1 out of 2, and 1 out of 2 again, for a total of 2 out of 2. For C's, we got 2 out of our total of 2, and 0 out of 2, for a total of 2 out of 2. Again, we have 2, so we're going to have 1 out of 2, 1 out of 2, for a total of 2 out of 2. And lastly, over here, it's out of 1, so this is 0 out of 1, 1 out of 1, which is 1 out of 1. Our totals down here should always be 100% because they equal 1. 1 divided by 1 is 1. This is 100%. Because when you have 1, it's 1.0, and you move the decimal to the right, you get 100%. So 2 out of 2 is 100%. Several of these. And 3 out of 3 is also 100%. So these bottom lines here for totals are always 100% in the conditional distribution. Now up here we got some more to deal with. 0 out of 1 is easy. That's 0, so that's 0%. 1 out of 1 is 100%. And that's easy to add up. 0 plus 100 is 100. Here we got 1/2. Well, the decimal equivalent of 1/2 is 0.5. So when we move it over, we get 50%. So this one is 50%. This one's also 50%. 2 out of 2 is going to be 100%. And this is 0, so 0%. 50 plus 50 is 100. 100 plus 0 is 100. We're back to halves again, so this is another 50%. And for thirds, 1 divided by 3 is going to be 0.3 repeating forever. So we're going to move it over 2 spots, and you get 33.3%, and this is going to be a rounded number, so we're going to leave it at 33.3%. And then 2/3 is the number 0.6 repeating forever. So when we move it to the right, we get 66 point. We're going to round this up to 7. So this one's going to be 66.7%. And when you add 33.3 and 66.7, you get 100%. Okay? So just remember, for the conditional, you need to know which way it's going where the total is. If the total is at the bottom, you're going to be adding up and down, looking for those totals. If the total is at the right, you're going to be going left and right. And then to change to a percent, you just look at that decimal that we already did when we did the marginal distribution, and you just move the decimal 2 to the right, and that changes it to a percent. If you have any questions, please make sure you ask.